Good morning, welcome back to the channel. Today is quite a special day for me today. I think I've now finally got the Allegro to a point where I can start using it on the road. So I bought the car last September. I've done quite a bit of work to the car. The brakes have been completely overhauled, as has for the clutch master cylinder. It's had a new alternator, a new battery. The carburetor has been stripped and cleaned, timing points, etc. And the suspension, that one key element on an Allegro, has been completely replaced and overhauled. So I'm hoping that the thing's going to be okay to drive. I've got it out of the garage, it's warmed up, it's a lovely day outside, so without further ado, let's get George on the road and just see if he wants to go for a drive. Well, here he is. I have to say he's looking a lot happier since Ian Dawn did the suspension work for me. I think there's no time at present, the weather's nice, so let's get the camera on board and we can go along for a ride. Right, so I've already warmed the car up, so it's ready to go without choke. Normally you'd apply the choke with the cold engine, but it's a nice warm day. We shouldn't need choke in theory, so let's just see if he'll start. On the button, so let's button up and we'll go for a little drive. We're being back in Allegro after a couple of years now, but this one has been sat since 1981. This is the first time in 40 years really that it's had a good run. As with any car that's been off the road for a long time, you need to go through the basics, which I have done. The brakes are okay, nothing's leaking, everything it stops in a straight line. But obviously there's a little bit more fettling to do yet. I'm not quite sure I've got the carburetor quite how it needs to be yet. I've set it to base settings. It does seem to be ticking over okay, but I've noticed on a bit of acceleration it's a bit flat, so that might be points, that might be the carb settings, but yeah, so I'm putting my foot down now, it's bogging back a bit. So go over the bump, I can feel the suspension working. When I bought the car it was really flat on its face, really solid harsh ride. But even though I've transformed the car's ride, it really just glides over the bumps. I don't know if you can feel that because I've got a gimbal on the camera, but it's so much better than it was. Yeah, I'm going to stop waffling now and you can just enjoy the drive with me. So the idea isn't to go far from home today. I just want to take it around the block a couple of times, maybe pop into town, do a bit of shopping, just get the juices flowing again in the car and make sure everything does work as it should do. So a bit of a recap for those of you who haven't been following the videos. This car was parked up in 1981 and left in the barn. We suspect that the driver gave up driving, and it hadn't turned a cog for the best part of 4 decades until it was bought by the previous owner. He bought it as a spares car, sat in it for a while, realised how good it was, and obviously he didn't want to get rid of it. Didn't really have a plan for it other than putting it to one side and maybe using it on a rainy day, but that never happened. He ended up putting it in for an MOT, and it then failed on a couple of basic things like braking balance, which you would expect for a car that's been sat for so long. And then he decided to sell it about a year later. At that time it was lockdown, so I bought the car. We had it in recovery. Well, we attempted to drive it back initially, but that didn't happen because it just wasn't ready to be on the road. I did the right thing, got the AA to recover it home, and I've been working on it slowly, gradually through the last few months. So I think what we'll do is we'll just pop into town where I live, do a bit of shopping, and then come back to the car. Like I said, I'm not going to go far today, this is just a bit of a run out. Go left here. Come on, man. Where do all these people come from? I'm gonna pop into the supermarket. You're not turning around in the right yard. What a flipping moron. There's appear to be absolutely nowhere to park. So I'm going to carry on. Well, I've just pulled over because typically the camera stopped recording, so I don't know how much of that you caught, but yeah, it seems to have a bit of a flat spot as you're pulling up hills, but other than that, it's touch wood, it seems to be okay. Anyway, I need to do some shopping, so I'll stop for a second. I'll do that and I'll report back when I've got shopping. Right, well, shopping has been achieved and I'm going to get home because it's getting really hot. Cooling fan's cut in, that's a good sign. Yeah, I was hoping that the fuel gauge is going to start working because last weekend I dropped the fuel tank, cleaned up the sender unit and was hoping that it might have spun back to life, but no such luck. So I'm just going to navigate some old deers trying to cross the road. Well done, George, welcome back on the road. You've had a good rest, but I think it's about time we got back on the road. See one thing, with these older cars you do notice how bad the roads are. It's definitely got a bit of a flat spot going uphill, so a quick tweak with the carburettor, another circuit around the block, you should be alright, hopefully. But yeah, I'm going to wrap this up now. This is just a quick update to let you know the car's now back on the road. Further adventures to come, so well done, George. Catch you in the next one.